Hello, hello. Welcome to our 100th back care class here on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here and for practicing yoga with me. Okay, so as usual, we'll inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Take a moment, just let the body do whatever it wants. Okay, we'll start swinging. Super relaxed arms. Gentle fists will tap the shoulder well and around the low back kidney area, tapping super gently. Okay, we'll slowly come back to center. Let's step the feet somewhere comfortable under the hips. Rub the hands together. Separate. Inhales, we move in. Exhales, we move out. Go with your breath. Okay, palms over the eyes. If you're wearing glasses, take them off. Long, deep breaths. We can imagine lighting up the eyes, the mind's eye, and the brain. Feel the top of the palm on the eyebrow bone, the bottom of the palm on the cheekbone, and make circles. Other direction. Slide the hands down the face. Inhale up the sides of the nose, down the sides of the face. Get the ears to a couple more. Rub the hands together again. Separate. Inhale in. Exhale out. Head massage. Pinch out the back of the neck. All the way into the shoulder line. Sweep down the front of the throat. Circle the upper chest. Middle chest, the sternum. Belly. Down the legs. Get those knees. And we'll just sweep down the shins. Up the calves. Backs of the knees, legs. Kidneys and low back. And let's get ready for the lung channel massage. So we find the end of the collarbone where we like hit the shoulder bone. Give it a little massage. Lung 1. Turn the palm forward. Up the shoulder, down the arm, around the thumb. Turn down, tip of the index. Come up in between. Inhale, we can imagine nourishing the internal organs. Exhale, brush away. Other side. So find the end of the collarbone where it hits the shoulder bone. Give lung 1 a little massage. And up the shoulder, down the arm, palm faces forward, around the thumb. Turn down, tip of the index. Come up in between. Inhale, nourish. Exhale, brush away. Whole massage with tapping. Coming up the back body. Lung channel. Large intestine channel. And across, other side. And across. Okay, let's bring the feet together. Shoulders back and down. Remind ourselves of the aura meditation. So each inhale, we fill up with fresh energy. Each exhale, we imagine the space around us a little bigger, a little brighter as we let go. So let's inhale. Exhale to the side. Relax into it. Just let ourselves hang. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. One more round at our own pace. And once you come back to center, open up the feet, open up the arms. Inhale. Exhale. Rotate from the waist. Coming back with an inhale when you're ready. Exhale. One more round on our own. Coming back to center, warm up the hands. Warm up the low back and the kidneys. Sending love, appreciation, energy. Slide the hands up over the kidneys as much as we can. Bend the knees, circle those hips. Other direction. Okay, back to center. Step the feet somewhere comfortable under the hips. Let's start the 8 health investment exercises. Inhale. Exhale. Open up, letting go. Inhale, palms up overhead. Exhale, turn the palms down. Inhale, chest level. Exhale, the elbows back. Inhale into the palms. Exhale, press down. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. Other side. In. out, in, out, in, step the feet all the way together, out, press down, in, out, stretching through the legs, the arms, the spine, in, sweep the palms, out, stretch, in, back up the elbows, out, press down, other side, in, out, in, out, in, back up the elbows, out. Open up the feet hip width. So this exercise and the next, we can imagine releasing downward through the earth as we exhale. Shoulders back and down. Let's keep the neck relaxed, jaw relaxed, face relaxed, and we'll use our eyes. In. Using the eyes, look over the shoulder. Out. With the eyes, inhale back to center. Exhale, other shoulder. In. Hands come up over the kidneys. Out. In. Out. In. Hands come up in front of the chest, palms up. Out. In. Out. In. Gather in and out. In, interlace. Out, overhead. In, palms up and up on the toes. Out, turn the palms down. Try to stay on the toes. In. Out to the side. In. Out. In. Come down. Heels come down. Out. We open up. Cross the arms. Gentle fists at the hips. Inhale. Cross in front of the lower body. Exhale. Brush away. In front of the chest. Back to the fists. Exhale. Hips. In. Out. Turn the head. In, the fist comes up. Out, we punch. Rotate and come back. In. Out, turn the head. In, fist up. Out, punch. In, coming back. Out, we just hang out. In front of the lower body. Out, brush away. In. Out. In. And we step out. Rotate the wrists. Fingers pointing towards one another. Knees bent, elbows bent. Inhale. Exhale, stretch through the arms, the legs, and the spine. Inhale, palms up. Exhale from the belly. In. Out. In. Out. We fold. So we'll lift each of the toes. We can use the fingers, or if the hands aren't comfortable, we just lift with the toes themselves. I'll say which toe and you lift on the exhale. So the big toe for the liver and spleen. Second toe, stomach. Third toe, stomach. Fourth toe, gallbladder. And the last toe, urinary bladder. Okay, hang loosely. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. When you're ready, roll up. Hands come to the back, lean back. Hands come out of it. In. Out. In. Third eye. Out. Heart. In here. Out. Open up. In. Third eye. Out to the side. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Other side. In. Gather in. Out. Press down. Place the hands on the low belly. Just take a few breaths. See if it's possible to let ourselves relax a little more. We can imagine the upward pull through the crown. In. Out. In. Out. Pressing forward. Make little cups with the hands. Rotate to the hips. In. Out. Stretch the arms back. In. Out. In. Third eye. Out. In. Out. Make those cups into the hips. Out. Stretching behind. In, back to the hips. Out. Turn the palms. Go around a big ball. In and out. Next breath in, back to the third eye. Out. In. Out. Gather in. And exhale. Okay, push hands. So we inhale, gather energy into the lower dantian, the lower energy basin. Exhale, press the hands forward. Go with your breath. All right, we'll add some power to it. So when we exhale, we'll take a little jump and let out a ha from the belly. So we'll do 3 of those. Ha, ha. And now 3 smooth. Okay, come out of it. So let's close our sequence by Philip Y. So we'll inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, give the energy to the lower dantian. Twice more. And feet together. Hands come in prayer. We'll end with a bow, paying respect to all living beings. Okay, come up. Press down, and we end with a round of applause. Clapping for ourselves, each other, and activating all the hand meridians. Wonderful, thank you. Okay, before we come down to the mat, we'll do some spinal breathing. So it's basically kind of like a cat-cow, but standing up. So we'll start by focusing on the pelvis. So as we inhale, we'll tilt the pelvis back. As we exhale, we'll round. So this is like on the floor when we do those pelvic tucks. So it's the same thing. So let's do a few. Inhaling as we stick back, exhaling as we round. So we'll just do a few, get the feeling. Okay, so we'll do a few more. And now this action is happening already. We'll just bring a little more awareness to it. So as we inhale, our ribs are sticking forward, as our butt's sticking back. As we exhale, we're rounding under with the pelvis and the ribs are tucking in. So maybe we can just focus a little more on the ribs tucking in as we exhale. So think about the front ribs going in and the back ribs opening up. A few more. Last couple. Okay, come out of it. We'll do a little bit of balance and work with our eagle arms. So for the legs, we can maybe just cross and keep the toes down, both knees a little bent. If you're very comfortable with your balance or you want to work on it more, you could have the toes off the floor. Now, whatever leg is on top, that arm will be on the bottom. So we'll cross the arms. Maybe I'll go sideways. Cross the arms. Maybe the hands will connect, maybe not. Now let's just take a couple breaths here. See if those front ribs can tuck in and we can breathe out the back ribs. Two more. Really focus on tucking the front ribs on the exhale. Okay, come out of it. And we'll just switch sides. So we cross the other way. Now, whatever leg's on the bottom, that arm, the opposite arm, goes on the bottom. So we cross. And again, just a few breaths on the exhales, focusing on breathing out the back of the ribs. So tucking the front ribs in. Couple more. Okay, come out of it. Shake it out. So now we'll play with tucking the front ribs while an arm is extended. So we're going to do it in triangle. Oh, if you want blocks for your triangle, set them up. And I can show you this little block move too. We'll do it on the floor. Put it at the bottom of the ribs so it's touching your floating ribs. We'll just do a few standing. So we inhale normally, feel the block moving out as we inhale, maybe. And then with the exhale, just gently press the block in. And see if we can tuck in those front ribs and breathe out the back ribs. Just 2 or 3. Okay, so remember that feeling. If you want to do another couple spine flexes, just to get that exhale, get that feeling of those ribs drawing in. Okay, so now we'll do triangle with an emphasis on the bottom ribs tucked in. So we set up like normal, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, whatever distance feels good for today. Let's rock in the hips a little. Can always let out a sigh, just a good way to release. Okay, float the arms up, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach. Drop the hand wherever it wants to go. It doesn't have to be the deepest triangle in the world. You can even be up on the thigh. Position either the arm up or on the hip. And then I know for me, I can feel my bottom ribs just sticking out, sticking forward. That's naturally the way my body prefers to do things. So let's consciously, me especially, tuck in those front ribs. Tuck in, tuck in, tuck in. See if I can feel the back body a little more, the back ribs pressing back. Position the head wherever comfortable. And as usual, we'll see if we can hold for 10 breaths. Imagine a support for the head. And each exhale, see if you can kind of squeeze those bottom ribs in a little more. Like we're breathing out the back ribs. Halfway. We can even do the breath we normally do in child's pose, where we inhale, imagine inhaling into the pelvis. Exhale out the back ribs as the front ribs tuck in. Okay, when you're ready, come up, turn the foot in. Let's do a forward bend. So the feet pointing forward, they can even be slightly in if you like. We'll inhale. Now we get to open up. We'll lean back, open up through the heart. And then with the exhale from the hips, let's start to tilt. And see where you want to go for today. You can stop just halfway. Or if it's comfortable, you can go all the way down. Hands can be on the blocks or the floor. You can absolutely have a little bend in the knees. Let the head get heavy and we'll just take 5 breaths. Okay, we'll make our way to a flat back. You might need a block underneath the hands, any height. We'll put the hand on the block if you're using it in the middle. The other hand on the sacrum. So feel how flat the sacrum is. We'll keep the sacrum flat. Open up through the shoulder. And then if you want, the arm can come up. Okay, with an exhale, bring the hand down. Switch the hand so this hand comes in the middle. Other hand on the sacrum. Take a couple breaths. Okay, keep the sacrum nice and flat. Press into the feet. Open up the arm if you want. It's really more about the rotation, so we can keep the hands down and just rotate through the shoulders. And then if you're good and you want to, arm could come up. Okay, hand comes down. Take another breath or two, relaxing in the forward bend if you can. All right, hands to hips. Inhale, come up. And let's get into triangle on the other side. So turn the other foot out. Take a moment to shift in the hips. Float the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Find your triangle for today. And then tuck those floating ribs in. So if you like the breath, inhaling into the pelvis, exhaling out the back of the ribs. So each exhale, we can kind of think of those bottom ribs tucking in and the back ribs opening up, pressing back. Position the head anywhere you want. Just imagine some kind of support. And let's breathe. Halfway. Okay, come up when you're ready. Shake it out. Okay, we'll come down to the mat. Keep the block nearby if you have it. If you don't have it, don't worry. We can do what we're doing without it. So we'll come down to all fours. And we'll start by just doing a few cat-cows. And on the exhale, seeing if we can feel the lower ribs tuck in, the back ribs opening up. So inhaling up, exhaling as we round, tucking in those front ribs. Go with your breath. Okay, we'll come out of it. Place ourselves anywhere comfortable. It could be standing on the knees or sitting on the heels. Let's just release those wrists. Rotate. Relax the shoulders. Change direction. Okay, back to all fours. Let's extend a leg back, tuck the toes, and just rock forward and back. Okay, switch legs. Extend back, tuck the toes, rock forward and back. Okay, bring the knee back. One more thing here. Turn the hands out to whatever degree is comfortable. Fingers out to the sides as much as we comfortably can. And let's circle. Change direction. Okay, back to center. We'll sit back on the heels. Let's go into a child's pose. You can have the knees together or apart. Let's focus on the breath, inhaling with the pelvis, exhaling out the back ribs. Okay, gently come out of it when you're ready. Good time to grab socks, any extra clothing, anything you might need for relaxation. We'll still do our seated twist. And let's keep the block close by. If we have time, we'll use it once we come down to the floor. Okay, set up for your twist. So bottom leg extended or bent, top leg inside or outside. Interlace, long spine. Take a few breaths here. When you're ready, into the twist, twisting towards the bent leg. Keep the twist, turn the head to center. Okay, come out of it. Set up on the other side. Starting interlaced around the knee. Take it into the twist. Turn the head back to center. And come out of it. Okay, down to the back. The block close by. So we'll do a few pelvic tilts. So as we inhale, the hips move towards the thighs. We make space under the back. As we exhale, we move the hips towards the head, press the back in. And we'll see if we can get those ribs involved too. Let's start just the hands on the lower ribs. So we inhale, make space. Maybe we feel the ribs lift a little. We exhale, press the low back into the floor, and maybe we could just press those floating ribs down to push the whole back into the floor a little more. So a few of these, inhaling, making space under the low back, exhaling, pressing the low back in the floor, and pressing those floating ribs down. Do a few at your own pace. Okay, the next time the low back presses into the earth, let's keep it there, and let's keep these low ribs pressing down. So the back ribs pressing into the floor, the front ribs tucking in. We can take the block and just use it to help place it on the lower ribs, and just gently, as we exhale, press the block down into those floating ribs and feel the back ribs pressing into the floor a little more. So we inhale, release the pressure. Exhale, press. Two more, inhale. Exhale, press. Inhale. Exhale, press. Now we'll see if we can keep the low ribs pressing down into the floor. Lift up the block. So we're holding it between the hands, the thumbs sticking out, flat hands. If you don't have a block, you just pretend you're holding a block. The important thing is to keep those low ribs pressing down into the floor. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. So we keep the low ribs pressing down at the same time that we lower the block. So the ribs will want to pop up here. We try to resist the urge. Keep the low ribs pressing down. Maybe the arms won't go so far back. That's okay. When we reach our limit, we bring the block back up over the head. So we'll do a few. If you can go so far back that the thumbs are touching the earth, just notice which thumb touches first and try to even out the movement so both thumbs touch at the same time. But no pressure. The more important thing is pressing the ribs down. If you're not touching the floor like me, it's probably because you're pressing the low ribs down and maybe your body isn't too used to that. I know my body's used to getting its range of motion from the rib cage and not as much from the shoulders. So a few more wherever we're at. Okay. Let's release the block. Go into any version of twists that we like. If there's anything else your body wants to do to prepare for relaxation, please go right ahead. Okay, once you're happy with the twists, set yourself up for relaxation. As usual, I'm doing this version knees bent, leaning one into the other. If you're comfortable with the legs extended, it's okay for your back, go right ahead. Or if you have some props to put under the knees, feel free. Let's give ourselves permission to relax. gently start to wake the body mind, inviting movements, giving ourselves a full body stretch. And once nice and stretched, let's, before we bring both knees to chest, let's do some single knee tucks. Exhaling one knee to chest, inhaling the foot down, exhaling other knee to chest. So just a few of these. Okay, both knees to chest. Exhale, hug the knees in. Inhale, release. Just a few double knee tucks. And finally, we can rock side to side. And make our way all the way to one side. With the strength of the arms, press up. Come into any comfortable seated position. And let's just take a moment with ourselves before we close. Maybe a hand on the heart, hand on the belly. Just feeling the breath move through the body. Maybe sending some extra love, appreciation to the internal organs, to ourselves. Let's close with a bow, acknowledging, honoring the light, love, wisdom within ourselves, within each other, and within all. Thank you so much for joining me for our 100th Friday Back Here Gentle Yoga and Qigong class. We're, of course, back next week. Tuesday, Feel Your Flow Yoga here on YouTube. Thursday, our Google Meet class. And Friday, right back here. So have an amazing weekend. Thank you again and take care. Bye, everybody.